Hello people, welcome to AngularJs tutorials. In previous tutorial we learnt about how single objects are created in AngularJS, how definitions are given for them, how attributes are added in a single object. In this lecture we are going to discuss about array object, and that is also known as list object. What is list object and what is array object? Both are same, so don't get confused in future if I will be calling them with either name. So to explain that, I will be creating one single object first, so that I can show you the difference between the single object and list object. In this lecture I have created all the formalities that we have been doing in previous lecture from the beginning only, that controller definition, parent app definition and those things. So our first of all we created empty object. This is single object and that is empty right now, that is also known as empty single object. So let us write two attributes. We will write in JSON way that name, some fruit name we will take like apple, comma, and then we will create some other attribute, second attribute, and that is red. Let us take red. So this is single object, and accessing this will be single object dot name and single object dot color. Now how to write multiple list object? So list object is also known as array object. So how it will be written? See, I will explain. First create an empty array. This is our empty array, and try to insert objects into it. I am inserting right now empty objects, so don't worry, below we are going to explain more, but I am just willing to show you the format of list object or array object. So this is array, inside these objects are there in the form of list, so this is known as array object or list object. Now how it is created? So $scope dot array object, I am giving the name as array object. Now what we do, we create an array, okay, empty array that is created. Now let us format it so that it will look better. Now inside this, what we want to create object. So this is our first object we have created. Now what object contains? They contain attributes. So let us take name, apple, again we are taking fruits only, color, suppose we are it will go outside, red. So this is our first object in array object. Now an array object can contain even more than one object also, so we will take one more object, and even single object can also be possible, so don't get confused. But generally why we will write this much complex code? If we want to create only single object, we will create like this only. So generally array objects contain more than one attributes in them, one object in them. So let us create our second object in the array, that is name, orange, the second attribute color. See, one thing I would like to tell you, and be careful about this whatever I am going to tell. See, this object, the key of these are called key. The key of this object can be different from the key of this object. Listen this very carefully, that it is not necessary that in an array object the key will always be same for all other objects also, but people try to put it common, so that when in next lecture we will be discussing about how to access the array objects and then showing their attributes on UI, then I will explain that why we choose the same key value pair in all the objects. But it is not like that you cannot put some other name for this key. You can put any name other than this also, no problem. So I will explain why both are correct and how, and what will be the problem if we define two objects, the first object, the second object with different key. What will be the problem? In next lecture I will explain that. Right now let us just learn how array objects are created, means how list objects are created. So let us create one more field. Suppose this is strawberry, and let us create one more field, that is suppose color, the same as above whatever we took, and let us give the color as pink. In previous we forgot to put color, let's put color, yes. So this is our array object, and this is the way of writing array object or list object. It contains an array, okay, and in array we put various objects if we are writing it manually. And right now we are writing it manually. It is not coming from backend, it is not coming through any API, not from Java, not from PHP, not any other backend technology. Right now we have manually defined this. So this is the way of writing list object. So Now how to access this on UI, I will be explaining that in next lecture. Let's keep this lecture very simple. See you on in next lecture, where we will be discussing how array list objects and their attributes are accessed on UI. Thank you. Bye bye.